What is up? Welcome to the stream, everyone, once again on this beautiful Sunday evening. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Not shaved. Shaved here? Not here. But hey, this is what it is sometimes. And let me turn down the volume on my side. Whew. Alright, today we're gonna do some debugging because we have some potential race condition in our poker adventure distributed shenanigans. And yeah, it would be cool if we can fix that. Now let me quickly do my administration at everyone. And Twitter, of course, let the world know what's going on here. Alright. So, what's the problem? Let's make run, as usual. Make run real quick. Kamal, what is up, man? Kamal, once again, welcome to the army of the high-value software engineers. So we basically start a game. We have a script, HTTP. We do a GET request that everybody ready, and then we make some scripts where everybody is performing an action in the pre-flop phase, which basically should turn everyone into the flop phase, which is not the case because, as you can see, handle message error, player 3000 has not the correct game status. And I think the problem is that 3000 is sending a message, but he's already at flop, and the rest is not. That's the thing. Miss you, my friend. Victor, Goody, Giddy, whatever. Welcome, Victor. Miss you, my friend. Come on, you were here yesterday. How can you miss me? How can you miss me that soon? How is that possible? Facebook. What is up, man? Facebook. I missed Facebook, man. Long time no see. Couple days, I don't know. Yeah, so a couple things. What I want to do is let's open up server, and then of course maybe we should game state on the other one, on the other side. Switch things up. Mike OCD is kicking in once again. So we have this players list that we need to fix here. This players list is basically just a list of strings, and that should be basically some kind of a structure that we wrap with a mutex. What's going on? What's happening? Leave me alone. I'm busy. What are we gonna do first? I think first we're gonna check if we can fix our issue real quick, and then we're gonna do the players list and see if we can fix the race condition. So where do we start? Yeah, I think I remember. Current dealer. Set status. Inc. Next player. Yeah. Here. And then we have this. Here. This one. Here. The party is here. If we are the dealer that just took an action, we can go to the next round. Yeah, you see, that's the problem, right? So what we do here is we basically increment our round. Right. Current status is going to be the next game status, which will be the flop. And then we send a message to the other players. So basically these are complaining that this guy is already at flop and they not. So how we gonna fix this real quick? How we gonna fix this? Listen, Adder. We could say that if we are in the... If the players receive an action from the dealer, if the players receive an action from the dealer, that could be in the next game status. Okay, all fine in house. I thought somebody was robbing me. He's gonna have a bad time. I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna have a bad time robbing me because I don't have anything in house. How are we gonna do this? Take action. Handle player action. I think this is the thing right here. This is the cause of all evil. If action current game status is not blah blah blah. Player has not the correct game status. We could do. The problem is we also need to increment the dealer. We could do something like if I think it's G current dealer get equals from damn it's gonna return an int, so we need to do the players list once again. Players list this thing. So if you receive a message from the dealer, we could say something like, let's panic real quick. Let's panic to see if it's actually doing something. We're gonna say received a message from the dealer. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Oh, beating up my own mic. I'm so sorry. OCD. I'm sick. Cure me. We're gonna panic soon, I guess. Receive message from you. Yeah, so it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. But the problem is that we also need to increment the dealer, right? It's gonna be nasty, but hey, we could do this, right? You could say if the current game status is this shenanigans, and you could say n can we make a simple function like is G game is from current dealer or something, I don't know. I'm gonna take a from, it's gonna be a string, I'm gonna return a bool, and then we can say this one, and then just say return this one. And it's not G is from current dealer. From. Isn't that clean? I think it's clean. Of course, we're not going to increment. I know we're not going to increment the dealer. I'm aware of this issue. But first things first. And luckily, we already have implemented this scripting thingy, so we don't need to postman it up. It's just automatically playing the game programmatically. People are idling. Yeah, I see. So everybody is flop. That's a good thing. Everybody is flop. So our tactic worked, but the problem is the player action is still idle and fault. I don't know, not quite sure where we do this. We're gonna say if you receive a message that if you receive a message from a peer that has not That not have. Has. That not has. Have. What's the correct thing? I don't know. I cannot spell. That not have. I don't know. Another same status. Game status. As. But it's not a current dealer. We return an error. Cannot proceed. May actually message need to be dropped. Cannot proceed. Doesn't have. Yeah, that's it. Atticus. Thank you, my man. That doesn't have. Yeah. It is exactly what you say. That doesn't have the same. Man, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I'm speaking literally every language in the world. You know what I mean? Not every language, but a lot, right? And especially the language of love. You know what I mean? So you cannot expect me to write everything clean. So if you receive a message from a peer that doesn't have the same game status as ours, which is basically also not I don't know, maybe a comma, I don't know, but it's not a current dealer, we return an error, cannot proceed. Hey. Okay, so that's that. The thing is, the current player action, that's not okay. So everybody is flop. So we basically can do a complete round trip, which is perfectly fine, which is good. So everybody can take his turn. We advance to the next round. I think we need a function for that. Player action. Where can we find these things? Can take action. I think this can be deleted. Some relics from ancient times. So what do we have? Current player turn. Let me see. Can take action. Increment next player. It's not current player turn. It's current player action. What am I doing? Current player action. This guy. Atomic int. Take action. Yeah. Some red flags already. Why are we idling? Who is this guy? Oh yeah, I see. No, I don't see. I don't see. We are 3000 here. We're missing some stuff. We're missing some stuff. Man, this is gonna be complex, and I knew that these things are gonna. Everybody's folding, right? Everybody's folding. Yeah. You see, this is a round trip, right? First of all, small blind, big blind, somebody, and then dealer, right? Yeah. You know, I'm gonna. There's also too many logs in the screen so we can actually see. And to be honest, I think we should start making a test for this. Of course, we cannot test. It's pretty easy to test the game state. And I'm thinking what the next step should be. Maybe it's I don't think the player list is going to be the issue because the players will be there and nobody will be. This is this thing. Yeah, this is this logris, right? Receive the player action. Why don't we log the action here? The complete action. Every player in this case will need to set the current game status to the next one. And then we add this to our player actions. Which we actually don't really use for now. Amir, hey, what did I miss? Not really. Nothing too fancy. We are trying to debug some issues. Right, so let's basically do it again, right? So everybody's up to date. So we're gonna make run. What's gonna happen is everybody's gonna press the join button, right? So everybody's gonna join, which basically will trigger the dealing mechanism. Then we're gonna deal. Everybody's gonna shuffle and deal. Everybody's gonna deal, encrypt. Then, when that round is complete, then we are gonna send messages and we're gonna fold. Everybody's gonna fold. It's pretty complex, right? It's already pretty complex. Then we're gonna fold. Everybody's gonna fold. And then we need to, and everybody's gonna be in flop. Pre-flop, fold, flop. Because once we have that mechanism figured out, once our code has the API, well, our API, our internal functions and structure set up to do that round trip perfectly fine, then we can basically almost code the whole game. Of course, with some, you know what I mean? It's important that we have this completely working, and then we can do all the other rounds, and then we can do checking and all that stuff. I think that's the first step we need to do. Because if we are now going to make it already overly complex without having the key semantics working, well, then we're gonna have a bad time. Because this is basically this player actions map. Which basically means, look at this. I mean, let me cancel this. Some people basically just has 2 people in it, right? So this 4000 has 7 and 3. Where is 5? Nobody knows. We already have flop thingies here. Pre-flop. Because the dealing mechanism works perfectly fine, right? If we just don't increment, if you don't start the pre-flop round, everybody will be at idle, I think, and pre-flop, everybody will be dealt to. The next player turn 3. We also fucked up the next player turn in the previous episode, right? I not fucked up, but we refactored that. Why are we 3? Why is the next player turn 3? Why is that? had that perfectly working. But I remember that we did just this, right? That's what we did. I think we need to take a step back. I see, next player turn is 1. That's not correct. That should be 0. Damn. Do you do freelancing? From time to time I do. Depends on the project. Depends on the project, actually. Yeah. I don't love to do these short-term jobs. I really wanna, you know what I mean? Wanna build something with people. You know, make some cool stuff. I'm actually very good at the first 80%. I suck at the 20%, and I actually will never do 20% work. And that's because I know myself. If you wanna, you need to understand that if you wanna build something, it does not matter what it is. You either be a builder or you be a finisher. You know what I mean? You have the people. What's going on? I'm joking. Help me. So basically, yes. You have people that are very good and very creative at making things happen. Right? They can engineer stuff. They know how to make stuff. They know how the world works. They know how everything operates. So they can build stuff really quick and also really good. But at a certain point of time, your project evolves into something that is dumb, but is not quite yet finished, if you know what I mean. And that's where I stop most of the time. Because that finishing stuff, that's not for me. That's for other people that are good in doing that. And I'm not. I have too much, I don't know, ADHD or something, right? I cannot do that. That's not good for me. So that's why I'm the perfect guy for a startup, which basically I did for all my life, startups, because we build stuff, we ship stuff. We build stuff, we ship stuff. Boom, boom, ship, ship, ship. But actually finishing the last 20%, you know what I mean? So if I want to freelance and somebody asks me, hey, we have 10,000 GitHub issues that needs to be solved, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Somebody else can do that. It does not mean that it's not important, but I mean, it's not my type of developer. You need to understand where you fit, right? Your strengths and your weaknesses, you need to be aware of those. Abuse your strengths and accept your weaknesses. Eric, hello Anthony. Would you recommend going over your blockchain series 4 months ago as first step into this? Wait. Sometimes, like you see, I'm even reading 80% of my sentences. 20% is. All right, Eric, I will do it again. Hello Anthony. Would you recommend going over your blockchain series 4 months ago? Yeah, I understand. As first step into distributed know-how in Golang. Yeah, why not? Why not? Because we actually the series starts with TCP transport. Not TCP. It starts with transport. So it's a very good thing. We also do a lot of protocol stuff, like encoding messages and all that stuff. So I think it's a good series. Although that the first episodes, where I began my career. So I had a scuffed mic, no cam. My font was too small. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna remake them. I'm gonna remake the series, but not the same blockchain. We're gonna make a blockchain with a UTXO model, right? Because we did the account model, which is needed if you wanna store state, right? If you wanna store state into an account, smart contracts and stuff. But now we're gonna build an UTXO chain, just like Bitcoin. right? That's what you're gonna do. Perfectly fine. Good setup, good mic. You know what I mean? And I think we're gonna use gRPC instead of Golang encoding. gRPC and protobuffers. Amir, I was like you, but nobody paid for me for that, so I had to change. Yeah, I see. And then now I start finishing stuff and maintaining them. I see, I understand. Well, I need to finish stuff also, right? I need to finish stuff also. Especially now, but I mean, as a person in general, I'm actually very, very good at the first acceleration. But I lack the discipline. I lack the discipline of actually, because when the 80% is done, I have already an amazing other idea in my head. You know what I mean? I'm already hyped, full of dopamine to make something else, or to make another feature, or to make something better. You know what I mean? Instead of putting the dots on the Y, or whatever you want to say that. Cooper Brown, you want a team? What up, man? Ha, hey, you want a team? It depends how deep your pockets are. It depends, man. It depends. I'm always open up for business inquiries. Hey, I'm a businessman. All right. Yeah, it's so it's getting so complicated. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting so complicated. Let me do a quick make run real quick again, just to recap myself, and then I'm gonna try to fix stuff. You see, the problem is I cannot all that junk here, right? All this junk, sending message to peer. That's basically okay. Next player turn is 3. I see. I think that's the first issue, because did we receive cards? That's a question. Yeah. Received Eng deck. Yeah. Received Eng deck. That's fine. That's all fine. That's working perfectly fine. You were thinking of Increment. What's that? Tell me everything about it. It's the next player turn. Next player turn. Where are you, man? Where are you? Wait. Yeah, I see. Current player turn, next player turn. Yeah. We increment. Increment next player, I see. I'm thinking why it's still at 3. So we forgot increment in. I think that's all fine. The thing is, I think the problem is as if we do our last, if you're the dealer and we do our last shenanigans, I think we don't increment ourselves or something. Oh, this is getting complicated to do on stream, I'm not gonna lie. It's wait, let me first of all open up server and delete some loggings, because broadcast error can be done. Handle errors are fine. Errors are fine. Let me search for FMT. Do we have FMTs? Not all errors, yeah. Do we have log risks? Log Russes. Sending message to peer. We don't care, right? I mean, I think received player action is pretty important. Receive the Eng deck. Do we want that? We can actually skip the logging by doing this. Let me see what's going on. Receiving cards going to shuffle. Sending payload to player. Caraca. Sending. Let's delete the shenanigans. Need to. Receive cards and going to shuffle. I think that's a pretty important thing to see. Sending payload that's already been done. Setting player status to ready. I don't think that's don't care about that. Let's clean things up, hey. Can you make a tutorial on slice maps and mapping them to other types of slices? How do you mean? Mapping them? You mean like the real map function, like a map? Like if you have a slice of XXX and you want to map it to strings or to a type or a slice with a type, with an accumulator or something. Reduce. Okay, so what do we have here? Yeah, this player connected doesn't matter, right? We're gonna deal cards, that's fine. Yeah, this is our status, that's fine. Receiving cards, we're receiving cards, that's fine. Shit. Like I have a person and I want to map that to employee. Yeah, like in Go, you don't have any of these map functions, but you can just loop through them. Loop through your whole persons and then just assign the values you want to and make an employee and put that in a slice. I know it's a bit of boilerplate, but there's nothing else we can do about it. Yes, this is bad news, man. This is bad news. I knew it was going to be a debugging stream with a lot of shenanigans. Yeah, exactly. Atticus. Wait, so why you're dealing 3 times? Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. Pretty sure we didn't have that before. Pretty sure. These things, right? We received cards and here again, and we don't see any. Damn, you see, dealing cards too. The same thing. Pretty sure it was working perfectly fine in a couple episodes before, until we actually implemented some other stuff, changed some things. Which is not good. And I'm thinking, let me quickly focus a little bit up. So we need to check if you are a dealer the current round. Yeah, then we're going to initiate shuffle and deal, right? Initiate shuffle and deal. It's going to check which player to deal to. You see, it's the player's list, but not, because that's perfectly sorted. It's get next position on the table. He's dealing to 4. That's perfectly fine. So he's dealing to 4, right? Then we get a message from 4000 that he received from player 3000. Is fine. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Fine, fine, fine. This is the dealing round trip. You see? This is the dealing round trip. All fine. All perfectly fine. But then we're dealing cards again. Okay. Yeah. Game stat is dealing. Pre-flop. Alright. I think we need to check it in... Man, this, like I said, it's getting very, very, very nasty. Shuffle and encrypt. I'm thinking there is something. Yes, this one. This is the thing. Right. So what happens basically, dealer deals 3000 first in the list, especially when the game just started, right? You're gonna send them, do a round trip, and then we're gonna check. We're gonna say each time we receive something, we're gonna shuffle and encrypt, right? If you go to server, let's take a step back and recap this. It's always a good thing to do. Here, this one. Handle this one. You see, each time we receive the encrypted deck from somebody else, we're gonna call, shuffle, and encrypt this one. So this is the previous player, which is basically the previous player on the table. When we check that the guy we received should be the previous guy on the table, right? That's no complaints about that, so that's fine. And then we're gonna check the current dealer, the current dealer address. So if we are the dealer, wait, but we are in pre-flop, so this is working, right? We go to pre-flop, right? We send a message pre-flop. And we return this whole function. If we are the dealer, and we received MSG previous players on the table, we advance to the next round. Yeah, that's fine. But because I need to start commenting stuff because it's getting big, and I'm sometimes there's a day I'm doing something else and I come back in this code and I have no clue what's going on. So I think the problem is that we are dealing 3 times. This is where we initiate the shuffle and deal. I think we need to look there. And where is initiate shuffle and deal? Initiate this guy, right? Set player ready. I don't think we do this. Set player ready. Everybody is. You're pre-flop, right? So why do we initiate again? Ah, wait, it's maybe... No, we can't, right? Because we stop here. Right? I mean... Make run. You see, we should have this panic. Yeah, that's fine. Run is complete, right? Actually, it works fine, right? This makes me happy to see that it's actually perfectly fine. But I think and I swear to God, we're gonna implement some tests very, very soon. I think maybe the next stream, we're gonna implement some tests because otherwise we cannot check regression. We're gonna do so many stuff. We're gonna probably refactor a lot of bullshit out of it. And if we don't have tests, we are going to come in the same issue. I don't like to do these tests because they are very hard, especially in this distributed environment. Writing these tests can be hard because you can make issues, you can make mistakes in your test. It basically, you know what I mean? If you make a wrong test, but I think we need it because, I mean, the game state is easy to be tested, right? If the game state, we can send some actions and then we can check if certain conditions are true or false, if certain rounds are being set or not, if we are doing the correct next player turn. I think we need to do that. I think it's very important. And it's not integration, it can be unit, right? It can be a unit test, because if we test everything as a unit and it works, and we make sure that our distributed environment is concurrent safe, right? If we don't have any possibility to mutate the same variable from different routines, because you need to know that each time a player connects, we spin up, right? We read the connection from another routine, which basically means that we are, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is perfectly fine, and it's returning, right? This function is returning, so we don't execute this thing. But for some reason, we initiate shuffle and deal, right? So we can actually do something like fmt println, and we're gonna do this, right? That's what I do sometimes, these shenanigans like this, and then I copy this a couple times. What's going on here? Right? Because now we can clearly see how many times initiate shuffle and deals occurs. Because if this occurs 2 times, which should be the possible, you see, 1 time, you see it happens over and over again, which basically means if we debug this real quick, right? This initiate shuffle and deal, right? We call this at set player ready, and that's the only way we call it. So set player ready is the problem, right? Set player ready is a problem. Handle message ready. Because initiate shuffle and deal only getting, wait. Initiate shuffle and deal only occurs with 3000. This code should only be in run FMT println, and we could do something like what's going on here? G listen address, right? It's very cold in my hands, you know. Excuses. 3000, right? 3000. You see, it's 3000, right? So this code is not being run on all the machines. This code is only being run on the 3000 machine, which is my machine. But hey, it's different. It's a different. Although it's the same file, they are different listen addresses, right? So there should be no difference between my machine and doing it on different machines. So it's 3000, and these guys keep dealing, but then they stop suddenly. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. This is actually an interesting thing to debug, by the way. Let's keep this here. Let's maybe thin out these things. Yeah, like this, fine. So we need to search this. I think we need to find the problem in set player in this thing. So set player ready is getting called in the server, right? Yeah, in the server, GD. What's going on here? I make some mistakes. What the hell is going on? I'm joking around. So let's go to the server real quick, and it's this one, handle message player ready, which comes with this handle message, and it should be this handle message ready. Println. And we do this. Let's open up main. Maybe we. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Yeah. I see. I know it. Look. Look this. Works perfectly fine, right? One dealing shuffle round, but only between everyone. But that's, yeah, that's and that's a known issue. That's a known issue that we don't check if the next players are ready. That's a known issue which we need to fix. I think it's already in my Jira to-do list. This one. Yeah, here. Make sure we only deal to players that have the ready status. Right. So basically, it is that what's happening, Atticus. I know it's confusing. It's actually my own fault. So what happens is, so the 3000, he sets ready. 4000, 2 seconds later, 4000 sets ready. So what the dealer then does is, if you go to this logic, right? And if we already fixed that one issue, then we didn't have this thing where... Wait, we are in fucking server. Game state. Initiate. Here. Right? No, it's in... Is it Gandil? Initiation plan deal, what's going on? It's player ready. Set player ready. Here. Right? So 3000 connects and he presses here ready, right? So we mimic that he presses ready by doing an HTTP GET call to our API server, right? So it's fine. Because it's his message, this is not getting triggered, right? Because he said it himself. But then player 4000 is coming to the game, right? And he presses ready. So this is getting triggered, right? So we check if players ready, the length of players ready is smaller than 2, we return, but we have to, right? We have 2 players in our list, which is this guy and this guy, right? So we start the initiate, right? So all fine, but we deal to everyone. Why? Because this bug, right? Not a bug, it's basically a feature we didn't implement, right? Because we don't check, the other players are just connected, right? They are not ready, but we ignore that and we start dealing. But we start dealing to them, but then this 2 seconds, right? If you do this, this one, what's going on here? Like this. Then 2 seconds later, this guy sends a ready message, which basically triggers this again. He checks, hey, I have enough players, so he shuffles again, right? He initiates again, and it happens with all the guys, right? With this guy, and then this one, right? This thing. So that's why we have 3 dealing rounds. Problem solved. Is that a bug? No, it's basically bad code. It's something we didn't check. Because I remember that when I was testing this thing, I didn't have these other players and yeah, and all these other messages basically were cluttering up my screen, so I didn't saw it. I didn't could pinpoint this, so I thought everything was fine. So now we are stripping down the logs, and now we see what the hell's going on. This guy is dealing 3 times. What's happening? Okay, so that's good that we know this. Actually, this is good news because it could be much worse. I'm not gonna lie. Whew. All right. So basically what happens with the players, right? So if this guy, if he connects, right, the dealer, which is because he's the first in the list because he has the lowest port. That's how we sort, right? We sort at the lowest port. And once the game is busy, we increment the dealer, which is okay. So once this connects, we can start the game. But these 2 guys can join the game, but they cannot. They can press. They can press ready. Or maybe they can't. They need to wait or something, or they can press ready. We buffer. We queue these messages until the complete round is done. Not the pre-flop, but the whole game, right? The whole. How are we gonna call this? Because a round is a pre-flop. A round. That's maybe a phase, right? A round could be until the turn. River turn river. River is the last one, I guess. So. Actually, if we remove these 2, we could test the whole thing, I guess. But I don't think it's a good idea to. Maybe we should already fix it. Did we skip something? I don't think so, right? Yeah, okay. I see. So what we could do is basically test this with 2 players, I know, to see if the round is complete, if that works, and then we can fix the other things. Or one person, Amir, or one person remain and everybody else falls. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. So if the round is done, completely done, then the messages that are basically buffered up will be sent and they join the game, and then everybody will be dealt to, right? We need to understand that there should be a front-end built on top of it, which will basically allow people to like join now and maybe they have 60 seconds, right? It's the same thing in PokerStars, right? If you fold and you piece them out, I don't think. Are you gonna get dealt to? Yeah, probably. If you just join a game and the game is busy, not quite sure what the behavior there is, but anyway. So we could say he's gonna fold and then 3000 is gonna fold after 2 seconds, right? And that should basically completely round trip it. And then we can actually check for the other players if this is working. What the fuck is going on? Do we need to... Because we're connecting servers, so we need to only connect. Man, this is a long time ago that I... Yeah, this is good. Make run. Hello, the horde of the high value engineers. What is Zoop Corwin? It's always player 2 playing, no? Yeah, now it's working perfectly fine. You see? Yeah, we needed to, because yeah, we were connecting all the servers to it, and then so we have 2 players, and they do a complete dealing round trip, shuffle and encrypt to each other, and then they basically do a complete pre-flop phase, and they are both in the flop, right? So they advance to the flop, although their current player action is still fold. So we need to have, I think we need to make a function that basically set advance to next round. And then we can clear the player actions, we can clear, put everything back to idle, you know what I mean. Just reset the whole shebang. The only thing, let me see, yeah, so he has fold, that's fine. Although this is already pre-flop, so... You see there's a lot of small minor issues that rising up. I'm gonna show you where it is. It's basically in if only one person is remaining. Yeah, he's a winner, right? Yeah, it's true. That's true. Actually, it is. That's actually true. But I don't want to deal with that shenanigans now. Add player action. I think that's where we need to be. Shuffling is all fine. Set player ready. That's fine. What is this? In case we don't have enough players, rounds can be. In case. Get him out of here. Man. Working with state is always so fucking nasty, man. Where is it? What function did we do? It's receive player action, right? And then we checked if we were the dealer, and then yeah, that's the thing, right? So this is the problem. You see this one? You can see that we are pre-flop here. So we received a message. So we are 3000. And he is pre-flop, which is perfectly fine. But 4000 received from 3000 that he is in the flop. Which is actually fine because it's here, right? So if you're a dealer that just took an action, we can go to the next round. So we basically increment our status, and then we basically send it to 4000. But we are already in flop, but he is not, which is basically the issue we fixed. Here, you see, player has not the correct game status. Normally, he would say, "Yo, you have not the correct game status. I am pre-flop and you are flop. What are you sending me messages, my friend? We are not in the same game phase." But it is, and we said if it's from the current dealer, then it's possible. So you see, the question whether the next player turn is 1. That's something I'm not. Yeah, that's true, right? Because I'm the dealer, so these namings are a little bit confusing. So I'm dealer, so I'm 0. The next player is 1, right? That's true. So it's sometimes it brain fogs. Kamal, an event-driven design could make it much easier, I think. Like you listen on some action, wait, when it happens, you trigger another action. Yeah. But I think it stays the same, right? Because an event-driven system is fine. Because the reason why event-driven systems are... The only reason why event-driven systems are made or being invented is basically because they don't want to dependency... how do you say that? They don't want to carry an object through their whole game. That's the only reason why it is, right? You have a UI object or something in a game, and you don't want to add that UI object in your player. You don't want that. Because your player needs to access the UI. A car needs to access the UI. Maybe everything in your game needs to access the UI. So you don't want to shuffle around that UI state. That's why you have an event system is invented, so you can... The UI listens to an event, and if the player shoots, he can listen to that shoot event and update the bullets, right? It doesn't solve the problem we have, is the problem of state. The problem of state is only being solved in functional programming. Well, kind of solved, right? That's why functional programs are invented. Not invented, I don't think they are invented by for that case, but that's why Erlang is a very, very, very used language in soft real-time systems, trading systems, telecom stuff. Because in functional languages you cannot manipulate your state without making a copy of it, if that makes sense. The problem is that we are basically have a lot of state variables that we need to adjust, like current round, current player, previous player, all that stuff. We need to keep track of that. And we are also adjusting these things in different functions at a certain point of time. Where do we adjust things? Who is reading things? When are we adjusting things? You know what I mean? That's the problem. And I completely agree. Is this the best way to solve it? Probably not. But if we first can make it work, and we could make some tests confirming, and then we can see if we can make better decisions through our code. So it's much better to understand and much less likely to shoot ourselves in the foot. Have you ever built something in Erlang? Yes, Victor. Not in Erlang itself, well in Elixir. Elixir, which is basically Erlang. Erlang for which is basically Erlang with syntactic sugar. It's exact the same thing. I programmed that for a year at Nash.io, which is a decentralized crypto exchange, which still is alive. Nash.io. Nash.io. And they have their matching engine in Erlang, Elixir. But back in the day they had also some Golang settlement tooling. But not anymore. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. It's a long time no see. Cool guys, very smart people. Best. It's pretty nice for me there. Pretty nice. But the thing is, I left because they were migrating everything from Go to Elixir. And I need to choose, or I'm becoming a pure sang Elixir developer, or I went to the TypeScript team. And yeah, I said, guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna miss you. And it was amazing to work with you guys, but I don't think I'm gonna have this developer happiness with these two languages, right? And sometimes you need to be honest. Money is not everything, right? You need to be happy in your life. You need to wake up. You need to be able to wake up with a lot of adrenaline to go out and do what you need to do. And if you don't have that feeling, and that's one of the best tips I'm gonna give you, the moment you don't want to wake up on a Monday, that's the time you need to find another job. That's the time you need to quit and find another job. So you will be happy to wake up on a Monday and go to work. How many startups did you help? A lot. I basically did almost only startups in my life, which that's the reason why I'm broke. Oh man. Okay, so we did some nice investigation, right? So yeah, so the problem is that if you had another player, it's already gonna deal. All right. So what I'm thinking, what we need to do is G game. I'm gonna say advance to next round. Not quite sure what we're gonna do here. First thing I'm gonna do is G players. Let me open up game state once again here so I can check here. Receive player actions. Can we clear this? We don't. What's going on here? So those are the player actions, right? So we have, it's a struct that basically wraps mutex. We could say func PA, which is going to be player actions receive. Oh, what's going on? Getting tired, man. Clear. Can we do this? We're gonna say clear, which is gonna be gonna just log this. I'm gonna say defer PA mu unlock here, and then we're gonna say that PA that received actions is going to be a map. Is it a map string message player action? Just make a new map. So we're gonna clear it. Every stream I discover a new talent. I don't know if it's a talent. It's something... Like I said, I did a lot of things in my life, man. But not many things went the way I thought they went. They want... What the fuck, I cannot even... a lot of things went into my favor. In the direction I want them to go. And I'm gonna tell you why. Not because I was incapable. Because I was a tech, right? I was a techie. I was not a CEO or something, or a guy that was constantly in meetings. I was building the tech, right? I was capable of doing everything myself, bootstrapping stuff, came up with good ideas, thinking out of the box, all that stuff, you know what I mean? Working hours and hours and hours, 7 on 7. And I'm very social, and I can market myself very well, so I come into opportunities much more than regular people. And that's not because you're stupid or something, it's because you don't go out and talk to somebody and talk about business. If you don't do that and you stay at home, or you just go to work, you come back to your home and that's it, you're never gonna encounter an opportunity. Where are you gonna find somebody to do business with? Nowhere, right? Because your family and your friends are basically just normal people that don't have that drive to do that, right? So where are you going to find these people? I don't know. On the internet. On the internet you find them. But also in events and stuff, right? So, but the reason why these things failed is because people. Bad business partners. Bad trusting people. The reason why a lot of people lost money in the crypto market is because they trusted FTX, right? Because it's FTX. You know what I mean? It's Sam Bankman-Fried. This guy is a genius, right? Right? Am I right? But he isn't. Well, it looks like he isn't, right? People are lost their money. The world is in shock. What the hell is going on? There's no movie in Hollywood. There is no director in Hollywood that can come up with this shit. It's so thing. The same thing happened with me. You have people who you think, whoa, he's a nice guy. I trust this guy. I know him for so long. And by the end of the day, people will stab you in your back. Everyone. Every fucking one. Trust me. You could say, why are you so harsh? Trust me. Trust me. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Friends, family, they're all gonna do it. Not if you stay in the line, right? If you're just a normal people, you go to work, you come back, you go to your parents, you eat some cake, you drink some coffee. You're not gonna encounter these issues. But if you're doing business, and if you're doing business, right, high stakes business, people are gonna fuck you over because you trust them. So never trust somebody. That's the thing. Never, never, ever. That's why don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Be a lone wolf. Game is a single player life. Game is a single player life. Life is a single player game. What the hell's going on? And I'm fucking tired, I'm not gonna lie. Advance to the next round. Listen, if you can program, you can literally build the world. You can build everything you want. You can build anything you want. If you can program, you can build your UI, you can build your backend, you can do everything yourself. You can automate stuff, you can build a business completely by your fucking self. That's what I'm doing, right? Building this business on myself. It's me, Anthony GG. It's my business. And I'm gonna build an imperium of high-value software engineers. Trust me. Because I'm gonna teach you the gap between tutorial code and real-life systems. Right? We are not gonna do these build this, but we're gonna build real-life systems, systems that can reflect the real world, so you don't choke on your job. And not only I'm gonna teach you how to program, I'm also gonna teach you how you're gonna make money by programming. I'm gonna teach you how to be mentally strong, physically strong, how to market yourself, what's a good idea, what's a bad idea, how you should talk, how you should not talk. That's what I'm gonna teach you. Why? Because it worked for me, so it can also work for you. And I made a lot of mistakes, so you don't need to make them. You know what I mean? Am I the best programmer in the world? Of course not. Am I the smartest person? Of course not. But I have the total fucking package. You know what I mean? 1%. That is what it is. Change my mind. Prove me wrong. I'm gonna build the total package for you. You know what I mean? You need to have the total package. Scientists are super smart, but they don't make money because they're sitting like this, making papers. You know what I mean? They don't make money. They don't drive fancy cars, right? They don't have 310 HP under the hood, right? They don't have that. They're driving these stupid things because they are stuck. They cannot market themselves. They cannot talk to people. You know what I mean? Advance to the next round. Back to business. Is my music playlist done? What the hell's going on? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna take another playlist, or are we gonna just reboot the thing? Let's reboot the thing. Why not? Alright, so we're gonna advance to the next round. The problem is, can we call this for everyone? Sometimes. I'm gonna carry this function with me. I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna delete it, but I'm carrying it. You see, the function is in my cursor. It's in it. It's not gone. I didn't delete it. It sucked it in, and it's still there. So everywhere this cursor go, this function I just deleted will go with it. You know what I mean? And it's still there. Don't worry, it's not gone. It's still there. It will stay there until I said to come out. That's when it will come out. Where are we doing this? Increment next player. I don't think we can just increment advance to next round with a plain function, because I think there is some differences. Take action. It's in the register. It's on my clipboard, man. It's on my clipboard. You know what I mean? It's in my clipboard. You see? Hup. Hold up. Sometimes you wanna give him some breathing room, you know? Need to breathe. Put him back in. Like a fish in the water. Listen address. Set the current status to the next one. I know. If you're a dealer like action, we can go to the next round. Where are we incrementing? I'm gonna paste it here because I'm gonna do actually so this is where we I'm gonna do next here, I'm gonna say next here, and sometimes I do this. It's a little hack I do, because if I'm here, right? Let's say I'm in my game state file, for example, here somewhere, right? You see, and I knew I had something in my mind. I basically put how do you call that? A debugging thing, like that red dot for debugging. So I can just search for next, you see, and I'm back at my next thingy, right? Even if I'm at top, I can go to next, or if I'm at the bottom, I can go to next. You see, it's a little hack you can do, so you can go back where you were directly, without having line numbers, without having folder structures and hexa shenanigans. Just a simple comment with any word you want, so you can search for it, and then you can. You see, it's attracting me like a magnet. You see, I cannot. Because I think this is going to the next round for the dealer. But where are we going to the next round as a player, as another thing? So I think that could be something like breaks. Yeah, exactly, man. I cannot. Today my brain is still, I don't know where it is. It was a very busy day. It was Sunday, but I cleaned up the house, man. I had a I cleaned up the toilets. I did the dishes. Oh man, I did so many things. Where do we? Where? Yes, each. Every player in this case will need to set the current game status to the next one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do next here. You see? I'm gonna put the breakpoint. So now I can actually tab between these things, right? I can say, here are we going for the dealer, and here are we going. See, it's clean. It's what. No, I don't think somebody who is doing this. Am I the only one that doing this thing? Am I crazy, or am I a genius? I don't know what it is. It's so simple, but it's productivity hacks, man. I don't even know. So what should be in the next round, right? The next round is basically next round. We could say 1. Set the next status. Set the next status to idle, right? Idle. 2. No, that's the action. Set the next round. Current game status. Right. And now we need to say increment the next player. Turn. Right. What are we doing here? G receive player action, add action. Yeah, I see. And now we do some logrus logging. The thing is, maybe do this at the bottom. That's maybe better. This is still not fixed. And then this is still not fixed. Like every time we visit this. Until we need to fix it. Alright, so the thing is, can we do this can we do this basically, can we make a function for this? Yes. But we need to increment the next player at all times, even though we are not going to the next round. So we can't, right? So this function cannot be in our advance to next round, because we also need to call this if we don't advance to the next round. So it's only these two. Set the next player action to idle and say G. Current player action is gonna be set. It's gonna be an int 32 because we need to cast this to G player action idle. Is that? Do we have that? We don't have idle. It's default. Well, we could do this. This is very nasty. What I'm gonna do. Actually, this is we cannot do this. We cannot do it. This is actually bad coding behavior. What we're gonna say is player action idle. Like this. That's gonna be 4 then. Actually, we don't need this thing. Let me clean this up. And actually, why don't we do this? Right? Idle. We're gonna say it's a player action. What's going on here? It's player action, but we don't IOTA this, right? Yeah, we IOTA this, but we don't start from 1. So idle is gonna be 0. So that basically means we can do 0, which is perfectly fine. Or we could say G player player action idle. Like this. Is it not working? Yeah, I see. It needs to be casted. Default, we're gonna say return. I don't know, man. Invalid. I have no clue. Invalid. You will see what's going on. David Alvarez. What up, man? Messages all over the fucking place, man. Alright, this is this. Of course, we need to do the same thing with the dealer, right? This one. Paste it in here. Of course, we could make this a function, yeah. Advance to next round is this one. Because we also need to clear. Let's first test this. Let's first test the shenanigans. Make run. Alright, let's see what's going on. Doing shenanigans. Flop, flop, flop. Idle, idle, idle. That's fine. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So we could say this. Paste it in here. And then we could say, let's keep the next. We're gonna say G advance to next round. Let's go to the next. This one, you see? That's why, hey. Paste it in here, delete this thing. What do you think about this? And now the player action should be cleared from the screen. Pre-flop. Boom, boom, boom. Fault, fault, fault. Map is cleared. Everybody's in flop. Current dealer is still 3000. So we need to fix the current dealer. That's the last thing. Mesdames et messieurs. Ladies and gentlemen. Dames en heren. I saw you in the Golang Weekly. With the poker thing? Yeah, I think I was in the Golang Weekly. But to be honest, the Golang Weekly, the Reddit post was much better. I don't know. Apparently, nobody's reading the Golang Weekly or something. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. How can we increment? But it was an honor to be in there. Et voilà. Yeah. Like I said, it's not easy, especially not on stream. People underestimate this, right? Because sometimes you could see sitting in your seat. I have the same thing when I'm watching Twitch streamers coding. I said, "Hey guy, don't you see this? What are you doing? You fool! Can't you see it?" But it's so hard sometimes, like interacting with the chat. Go back to your focus thing. Go back to the chat. Focus lost. Go back to the focus. It's crazy, right? Can you imagine you're coding and your job and somebody just, "Hey, can I ask you something?" And you need, "Oh yeah," and then 10 minutes, and then somebody comes back, and it's complete madness. I can tell you, it's complete madness. David Alvarez, thanks for your content. I'm learning Golang now, and my next goal is blockchain. And 1 month training power building. You inspire me. Yeah, man, you need to go to the gym, man. You need to go to the gym. You need to do it. Building blockchains and building muscles. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. Tomorrow it's lag day for me. Today was rest day. Actually, today was lag day. But I had no time. I literally had no time. I swear to God. Normally... But normally tomorrow is my rest day. So I took my rest day today so I can go tomorrow. Hey, that's the same thing, right? Cannot blame me. Cannot blame me that. Advance to the next round. So we need to increment the dealer. I think that's easy. Everybody's going to do the same thing. Nobody needs to send messages. So we can go to advance to the next round. And we could say that the G current dealer... is that a SETI? Yes. It's going to be the next dealer. The thing is, that's... Let me open up game state here. Which is already open, but hey. Because we cannot say it's the next player. We cannot say increment the next player. We cannot do that. We cannot say next position on the table, because that will not be the next dealer. We need to grab the current dealer, put that into the players list. I think I have an idea. Because get current dealer is basically an integer, well, an int32, which is the same thing, right? Which points to the dealer in our players list. And then we basically need to increment that. But we need to be careful because we can increment that out of index. And that's where this this function comes in. Get next position on the table. This one. Actually, we're gonna... get next dealer. Yeah, and sometimes I do this ASDF thingy in my search bar. It's basically to clear my highlights, right? Because if I search for funk, for example, right? If I search for funk, you can see that everything is highlighted here. You see? All these funks are highlighted because I'm searching for that. And then I can basically increment with N to all these guys. But if I want to clear it, then I search again. I search again, but I search for something that doesn't exist. And what doesn't exist? Something bullshit. And do this, and then all the highlights are done. You know what I mean? Bad behavior. It's not bad behavior. I think I don't know how other people do it, but I think some people do the same. Kamal, I really don't understand Web3. I had bad experience some years ago with it when I was applying for a job, but I would like to learn more, like from the basic. But Web3, guys, that's Web3 is just I don't know who came up with that name, but Web3 is basically just the same thing, right? It's nothing different. You're just writing code. You know what I mean? There is Web3 doesn't exist. This is the baddest name people gave to it. Web3. It's like Web3. The only thing you're doing is executing code. You know what I mean? You just execute code on a virtual machine. That's the only thing you're doing. Literally, the only thing you're doing is executing code on a virtual machine. You just do an API call to an HTTP server with some bytes in it, which is basically the bytecode, right? And you send that to an HTTP server. That server receives that code, and he's gonna boot up his virtual machine, and he's gonna put that code into the ass of that virtual machine. And the virtual machine will run that code, and it will do exactly what you told it to do. You need to store that. You need to store that 1 + 1 is 2. 3 + 3 is 6. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. And it does it distributed, right? So you're gonna make an HTTP request. Everybody's going to get that code. Everybody's going to run that code on his virtual machine. That's the only thing you're doing. Nothing special, right? It's literally, and then you have this MetaMask, which people, MetaMask, and you just need to sign that your transaction, right? Because if you're gonna send that, you need to sign this with your private key, and that's exactly what the wallet is doing, nothing more, right? It just signs things on your computer, of course, because it's your private key, and then you can send your bytes ready to be executed by a virtual machine. That's Web3. There's nothing more to that. I don't understand. Literally, the whole world doesn't understand. There's only a small subset of people that understand what Web3 is, what actually this whole blockchain thing is. All the rest is all these influencers. They don't know anything. They don't know shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy. 90% of the people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's nothing to do with the web. The web, it is literally nothing to do with the web. I don't understand what Web3. And then you say Web 5, what the fuck is that? Where is Web 4? Where is Web 4? Did I miss something? People don't understand Web 3, but you're gonna talk about Web 4. Can you what the fuck is this? Man, that make me so sad sometimes. Angry. That doesn't make me sad, it makes me angry. It makes me wanna clap some cheeks. That's what I wanna do. Web 3. There is nothing else in the web. There is no Web 3. You use the same browser, the same HTTP connection. You use your same JSON, Postman stuff, whatever you want to do with it. You do the same things. You accessing servers, blockchain servers running on AWS. You know what I mean? It's not they do not run in some special place. No, they run on AWS or on DigitalOcean or something. That's where these blockchain servers run. That's where you, just like a normal server, normal API server, it's the same thing. The only thing they have, like Ethereum, has just, it's a database, right? It's a distributed database, but in front of that, before it's going to, it's gonna run your code on that computer, and then store it to the database, right? That's the only thing it is. That's the only thing. It's like WebRTC then. No. It's like nothing. Kamal, it's like nothing. It's just coding. It's just writing a program. The only thing it does is, instead of you're compiling your code on your machine, you compile it, you execute it on another machine, right? And that will then, you execute it on all the machines, and everybody will have a deterministic state transfer, right? Everybody will transfer the state T to prime T in a deterministic way. That's what happens. And that's why crypto comes in. That's why a blockchain comes in. So we cannot alter what happens. We come to consensus that everybody comes to the same deterministic solution, answer, output, without to be afraid of malicious actors, because we have this consensus that protecting us with a quorum of nodes, if you know what I mean. Moya Xavier, brother, if I do some of your projects and I show it to some senior and they ask me why everything in main, because main scales in main scales indefinitely. You know what I mean? This is what it is. In your main function, because why not? Why would you split it out? I understand, senior, because you still use line numbers, right? And you still use your mouse to scroll, right, senior? Right? Of course, then I understand that you need, for every single function, you need a separate file, right? Because then you can do this, right? Let's go to message, because there is my message, right? Right, senior? Right? Main. I don't care, because at the end, everything gets compiled to one file anyway. So who cares, right? I'm zooming. I'm Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. I don't need folders. It's of course I'm using folders, right? You need to, in some kind of a way, structure your project that things are grouped, right? I understand. But this is game state. Why should I split game state out? Is there a reason that I should remove these functions and put them in another package? Because my file is too big, because I need to scroll too long like a fucking monkey. No. Tell that to your senior. Because if your senior is asking you that question, then he's not a senior, but garbage. And now I don't know where I am. Because of your senior. Who is this guy? You know what I mean? Look at my other projects. Of course I'm splitting things out, but I don't split things out unnecessary. Right? If I have a for example, in a blockchain, I have block everything, literally everything, even if it's 5 million lines about that block type, is going to be in the block file. There's no need to split it out. Oh, you have 5 million lines. Yeah, and then if you split it out in 20,000 files, you still have 5 million lines. You fucking stupid. You know what I mean? People don't know. But people always look for problems to solve because they cannot solve the real problems. And to be influential, right? To look good on Twitter, to look good on YouTube, they need to create problems that they can solve, right? Oh, let's make Hex architecture a thing. I don't know what Hex is. I still don't know it. I never looked it up. I have no clue. And I will never look it up because I don't care what it is. Nightbot, delete all your messages, not spam. Moya also spam. I don't know what it is. Nightbot is very picky. Nightbot. Kamal, I have a 130k line file. Yeah, Perl. It is what it is. Look at Redis, right? I always say Redis. Redis is one of the most adopted projects in tech, right? Everybody uses Redis. Everything is in main. I mean, everything is in the root. You know what I mean? Everything is in the root. Nobody complaining about Redis. Redis serving, basically serving the whole fucking world. You know what I mean? Written by one guy. What are these teams of 5 people complaining about, man? Oh my goodness. The tech is going in the wrong direction. That's what I'm telling. The whole tech space is turning into a scam. It is what it is. It's the same thing with trading, right? Trading is turning into a scam, which is a scam. Then you have affiliate marketing and this social agency. I don't know what it is, but you can make a social agency or something with social marketing agency. I don't know what it is. And then you have real estate, and all these things are a scam on YouTube, right? They ads that you need to. I don't know what it is, right? It's a scam. And now tech, programming is turning into a scam. It is what it is. I'm gonna warn you. With this and 2 years, programming is a scam. Courses. Guys, if I want, I could be so fucking rich by making a course. It is what it is. But I don't do it. Because it sucks. A course won't teach you anything. I'm just have a Patreon where you can support me and I put sick content out there. That's it is what it is. That's the only thing I do. I just put content like this. I put it out there with explanations and what people want to see, I make, and it's there. Boom. No courses. You know what I mean? I'm doing it the hard way. Because that's the only way. You know what I mean? It's the only way that... It's the only way you can have a face without being seen as a fraud or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Moya, this is the answer I need. It is, man. Don't let you... impressed by seniors. And especially in Golang. If you make a lot of folders in Golang, you're gonna have circular dependencies. Tell them that. Listen, if somebody comes with this sentence, right? This is already... That's a sentence I'm piecing out. But hex arg follows solid patterns like implementation, abstraction, using interface. If this guy, if I'm going to an interview and somebody is telling me that line, I'm piecing out. Said, guys, I'm sorry. I'm out of here. Look for another dev. I'm not gonna join that piece of shit company. Hey, what the hell? I don't understand. What's wrong? What's wrong with this folder structure? I don't know what hexa thing is. I have no clue. It's probably some It's the same thing like MVC shenanigans where you need to have your implementations and this is not Java. We are fucking Golang. We don't care. Just That's why I still write my projects faster than a team of 4 people because they are busy with their shenanigans. And I swear to God, give me a challenge, right? Give me a challenge with 4 people and I will fucking send them back to where they came from. It is what it is. I just want to do one more thing. Actually, maybe we should do it the next time because we are shit talking. It's the end of the stream, so we shit talking. I just need to increment the current dealer. What was I doing? Domain-driven design, but guys, it's all a scam. Listen, it's all bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Domain-driven design, TDD, all that stuff. That's all made up for no reason at all. Listen, before hex architecture, I don't know what it is. If somebody can explain me exactly what you need to do for a hex architecture, but 3 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, I didn't heard about hex at all. It probably didn't exist. Especially when I write at Golang for the first, I can swear to God, there's probably nobody you can find that is writing Golang longer than me. I have code from almost 8 years back. Golang code from 8 years back, and it's already pretty solid Golang code, which basically means I probably was writing it a year before. So I think I was there before it was in production, right? Before it was it was still in beta when I joined Golang. Still in fucking beta. You know what I mean? I think it's 1 point even. I don't know what it was. Anyway. That thing didn't exist and we made good programs. Docker, Kubernetes. The EAT client. You know what I mean? These all running. People are running on this. The whole fucking world is running on that code. Nobody was complaining about hex patterns, right? You know what I mean? It's all these people that are stuck in a corporate job, right? Being broke, having basically, or they are too fat, or they are too skinny, right? No, they have nothing. They are sad, depressed, and their life sucks. The only thing they do is invent these things so they can be interesting on LinkedIn, so they can give nice keynotes. But that's not how the real world works, right? If you really want to make things work, if you really want to build projects, if you really want to go against the speed of light, that's all fucking bullshit. You don't need to believe me. You can believe them, or you can believe me. It is what it is. But you can see my track record. It's all open in the wild. And you can see what do you want to be, them or me. It is what it is. You choose. DDD. Domain-driven design. I had enough. I'm gonna look it up. Domain-driven design. I understand. Domain-driven design. Hex architecture. Adapters. Man, what the hell? If I see adapters, then we're gonna... Look at this. Adapters. It sounds like Java. Object-oriented. Alistair Cockburn. Oh my goodness. Alistair Cockburn. Guys, that's already enough, right? Then you know already enough. This guy's basically being picked upon his whole fucking life because of his name. So he's so fucking sad and depressed that he wanted to invent something to compensate. Undesired dependencies between layers. There is, listen, interfaces, Golang interfaces will solve all your dependency issues. The reason why you will have these dependency issues is because you don't know how to use interfaces. I'm using for these projects not too many interfaces because I don't care, right? But if I'm doing really like in my blockchain project, I'm using a lot of interfaces, right? A hasher, a decoder, all that shenanigans. Interface is basically what you need. And contamination of user interface code with business logic. I don't see any user interface code. Do you see any user interface code? I don't. Oh my god, he's also the initiator of the agile movement in software. You see, this guy's a cult. The only thing you need is a to-do list. I mean, like a to-do file, right? To-do. This one. That's the only thing you need. And I just checking my to-do list. Do we... Yeah, it's playlist. Yes. Yeah. Alright. Criticism. 6 parts of the... That's too complicated already. 6 parts to the concept. Whereas the... Listen, people want to program, but they are overcomplicating stuff. 6 parts, 4 key areas, 6 border ports, but leave enough space to represent the different interfaces needed between the component and the external world? The drawback of hiding the inherent asymmetry between the service provider and the service consumer? Are we living in the same world? Get them out of here, man. It's too complex. God damn it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna keep building, man. I have no issues. I have no dependency issues. I have no scalability issues. I literally have no issues. I'm just making things work. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I have no clue, guys. You tell me. And to all the companies that basically want to hire me with Hexa, no, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. There's no price for that. I ain't doing that shit. I will link a good video about... Wait, let me... I will tell you the only good video. Peter Bergen, that's the guy. Peter Bergen. Peter Bergen, keynotes. Discussing coding in arithmetic in Go. This guy is... he's right. Weave. I don't know. I cannot find it, but I will link it in my Discord. If you and for the people that are not subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave something in the comments. Join the Discord if you like the content I'm providing to you and you really want to get things done. You really want to learn what program is about, and you don't want to being caught up in this scam, basically, where you basically just gonna be sitting in front of a desk your whole life, knowing nothing, doing the same things, or you can basically join the army of the high-value software engineers and become an independent software developer, right? A high-value engineer that can basically do whatever the fuck he wants, and where the companies are sending CVs to you, resumes to you instead of you sending resumes to them. That's exactly how it is, because we are with less. You need to understand that. The next time you go for an interview, you need to understand there are more companies looking for developers, high-value developers, than that there are high-value developers looking for a company, looking for a job. Put that in your mind, right? So it's not them. They need to start. They need to start, who are you, company? Tell me what you do. Because I have no time to look you up, right? I don't know who your CEO is. I don't know what you guys doing. The only thing I want to know is how much you're going to pay me. No, that's not true. This is a joke. Of course, you need to do some due diligence, right? But the thing is, they need to explain why they have a good environment where you're going to work in. That's very important, right? Because you is what they need. And you could say, yeah, but I need them too. You don't know, right? There are more companies looking for developers than developers looking for companies. But if this scam continues, there will be more developers on the market, but low-level developers that think that they just can make a Netflix clone in React, that they are basically going to build stuff. No, that is not going to happen, because you will choke in a real-time job. You will choke. Kamal, Google is a big monolithic app. Yeah, but working for these big companies, they pay good money, but I don't think it's a happy working there. Like comparing some Hex projects and destroying it with interfaces. I don't know, where is a Hex? Somebody needs to link me a Hex project then. And I'm happy to check it, and I'm happy to make a video. I'm gonna make a video. This week, I was already planning to make a video about how to structure your Go programs. Common Dev and Design, I don't know, just... I mean, we made all this beautiful code, all these programs are working just fine for these 10 years. And suddenly, everything needs to be different. Why? What went wrong? Who is complaining? I've been writing these systems in production for over 10 years. And maybe for over 8 Golang. Wait, 15... I think 8 years, 8 or 9 years Golang. No kidding. Proof is on the internet. And everything was fine. We had big microservices. Well, big microservices, small microservices, but big projects, combining everything. I even had this big monolithic app in Bubble Post back in the day. Everything worked fine. No problem at all. And now suddenly, there is a problem. You see? People are always finding problems, right? People that cannot build, people that cannot make their own company, people that are stuck in their life, they will always find problems so they can solve with something they invent. So people think they are smart and they can feel good and yada, 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 yada. But by the end of the day, they never built something. They are just the scientific people want to be interesting. That's the only thing it is. And of course, all these other stupid people are going, oh yeah, hex. You know what I mean? Because they don't know better, right? They don't know better. Anyway, I think what we need to do is quickly increment this dealer. Did I make a get next dealer or something? What the hell is going on? Get next dealer. Yeah. This function is to do, man. This function is to do. I'm gonna return. Actually, I'm gonna panic here so we don't accidentally run this. I'm gonna say to do here. Man, what's going on? My caps lock is. Yeah, fine. Yes, to do. So, are there any more questions? Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap it up, and then next stream we're gonna fix this, and maybe I'm gonna do some focus stream where I'm gonna be more focused at coding, so we can actually finish this. Because sometimes I'm, you know what I mean? Maybe I should make a video. A video is always good for me because in a video I can focus on coding and go like a train. But in these streams, sometimes I tend to go out of track, right? But hey, that's why I'm streaming, right? That's why I'm streaming. I make these videos to give you guys some content that's easy to follow, focused content, and these streams are to do some programming, but also to, hey, you know, talking some facts, right? And if there are questions, feel free to ask. I'm gonna quickly check. Mute us for 30 minutes and then unmute us. Yeah, I know. In the beginning, my beginning streams where there was less people in the chat, I was much more focused, man. But now I'm easily distracted, and especially as a late stream, and it was a very busy day, so. Although we did some insights, right? We did some good stuff. Small steps, right? Small baby steps, but like I said, it's not a JSON API, right? It's complexer, right? It's complexer. A lot of things going on. You need to be focused. Yeah. All right, guys. Like usual, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You support me here on the chat. For the people that are not subscribed yet, consider subscribing, join the Discord. And I see you guys tomorrow, probably. Yes, tomorrow. I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a focus stream. You tell me. We will see. Also gonna release some good videos this week, so keep in touch. Ring the notifications bell. Guys, thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video or stream. Bye-bye.